Hey Avs fans, this episode is brought to you in part by MyBookie. MyBookie is already one of the most trusted and reputable sportsbooks in the industry and still has the best payouts and better odds than any other sportsbook going. If you join now, MyBookie will still match your deposit with a 50% bonus all the way up to $1,000. That means an extra $50 of free money if you deposit $100, deposit $200, get an extra $100. You know the deal. Just use the promo code THPN to activate the offer and take advantage of this. MyBookie also has a ton of other bonuses and promotions going on all the time for current accounts. Just check out the promotions page and there will be something for you. You can risk a little or you can risk a lot on as many games as you want. Visit mybookie.ag today. You play, you win, you get paid.
Now a quick word from our sponsors.
Don't forget to check out the Hockey Podcast Network's newest affiliate, NHLShop.com. That's right, the official NHL merchandise page. Right now, they're giving 20% off orders over $25 with code NHLICE25. Also, if you use our link that we're going to tweet out after this episode, you can help support us and the other hosts at the Hockey Podcast Network. The Hockey Podcast Network has also joined forces with Puffy Mattresses. They're not just any bed-in-a-bag company. These are America's most comfortable mattress, and right now you can get $300 off a new mattress plus a free king-size pillow. Plus, they offer a 101-night sleep trial, so if you're not satisfied with the mattress, you can return it no problem. Also, if you use our link, just like NHLShop.com, you can help support us and the other hosts at the Hockey Podcast Network.
This is the Hockey Podcast Network, your home for hockey talk on every team in the NHL.
Welcome to Offside by a Mile, the podcast for anything and everything Colorado Avalanche, and the official Avs podcast for the Hockey Podcast Network.
Elliot Moose is on the loose. Elliot Moose is on the loose. Elliot Moose is on the loose.
Oh my god, that is amazing. Our own Elliot Moose is on the loose. Mikko, Mr. Moose Rantanen, is on fire all of a sudden.
Is on the loose. Boy, is he ever though, dude.
Oh.
Like watching that Senators game, this is what we want to see.
We've
right?
missed you, big guy.
Like is honestly, I feel like this is like his first very like superior game this year, right? Like he's had some good ones. He had a couple good ones right when he came back from injury. But this is the Moose level, you know? Like
all I could think of, I just, the moment that it happened, like the spinorama and stuff, and the Moose is loose stuff, and like, I just immediately thought of Elliot Moose, and it's ridiculous. The only reason I thought about it was like a week ago at work, somebody brought up, do I remember Elliot Moose? And hell yeah, I do. And holy damn, it's so perfect timing.
Oh, man, no doubt.
Oh, my God. Before we get into anything too crazy, a couple of housekeeping things. The Sedin's jersey retirement is tonight. We're recording Wednesday night. Congratulations to them. Yes, they're Canucks, but congratulations. Hard-earned, well-deserved for sure.
Can't deny their own superiority.
Future Hall of Famers, most likely.
Right?
I would think first ballot.
Yeah.
Second terrifying incident was kind of brought up on the broadcast on Tuesday night. Jay Bouwmeester had his heart episode, they're calling it. I don't know. Sounds like a heart attack to me.
Oh, I just got chills again.
Man, that is crazy. For any of you that were watching the game last night and were curious and didn't maybe look at it, Bouwmeester came off of a routine, is what I'm hearing, shift, maybe a little long, but it was routine. Came off the ice and collapsed on the bench. It's coming out today. The GM of the Blues and media has reported that the use of a defibrillator was used to revive Bouwmeester. That is terrifying. And
Yeah.
I had hockey last night, which, hooray, 10:30 hockey game is super fun. For those watching, note the coffee that I'm drinking because I'm exhausted. We were talking about it in the room, and it was like, man, this kind of seems like a couple guys. I was of the notion. They're like, well, guys get seriously injured all the time and they keep playing hockey. It's like, yeah, but that's because they're playing hockey. This was not playing hockey. This is freak of nature, just health problem.
Yeah.
And then coming today, so like these guys were saying guys get seriously injured and they play hockey games. Yeah, but those hockey games all have a different feel. Like when
you're talking about like continuing the game.
Yeah,
kind of
just
thing?
like random injuries. Like think of Roman Polak getting stretchered off because of his dive bomb into the boards, right?
Right, yeah.
Yes, they continued playing the game, but it was definitely a different feel to that hockey game.
And it's a little bit different. Like that, these are way different situations.
Exactly, that's my thoughts too. It's like this is not hockey related.
Yeah.
Like yes, it happened in a hockey rink. You can break it down that simple and say, well, yeah, obviously it's hockey related, but it wasn't on the ice. It wasn't from hockey.
Yeah.
This is Jay Bouwmeester. This is one of the league's craziest Ironmans.
Right. That's what
he
I
is
thought
healthy.
About
He's older. Like he's 36. It's not like it was a 19-year-old kid that had a heart attack.
Yeah.
But this is something crazy. And imagine the fact that, yes, he was alert leaving the building. But he was alert leaving the building. Nobody said he was just revived.
Yeah. Like, well, that's the thing, right?
That didn't come out until Wednesday.
The one Reddit thread that came out that I saw was one person put it up on Reddit. They were 8th row, I think, behind the bench. And they're like, I legitimately just thought I saw him die on the bench.
Right.
And like there was chest compressions, I guess, on the bench too, is what I'm hearing.
That's what I've heard too.
And then the defibrillation, like Jesus, man.
Right.
Yeah,
So
that was shocking and whoa.
Hindsight's 20/20 in incidents like that, but imagine he was healthy and like the revive, like the resuscitation stuff didn't happen. Imagine on the way to the hospital he passed away. Like for whatever reason it was a blood clot and it just found its way into another artery and game over. Imagine they were playing hockey when that happened. And it's so much worse than just postponing the game, call it a day, end of story.
Mm.
Yeah, you got to turn away a bunch of fans. I saw some posts where like fans were like, yeah, it felt like the right thing to just go home.
Yeah, dude.
I saw something today that when they do reschedule the game, it will be a 1-1 tie to start.
Right.
And they're just going to play a full 60, not play
yeah.
like 50-something minutes or whatever was left in this one.
Interesting.
It is interesting. I thought that was an interesting thought, but I mean, whatever, man.
Also, yeah, like
thoughts and prayers and all that to Jay Bouwmeester because
majorly.
He played here in Calgary for a long time.
Yeah.
He's been in the league for a very long time.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic dude, great hockey player.
Yeah.
All the best to him for sure.
Seriously, get healthy, buddy. And also hats off to all of the Anaheim organization and paramedics and everything, right?
Every first responder that was there and all the trainers and everything like that, man.
And also the players of the Anaheim Ducks. Like, they were right there. There was some pictures and stories coming out of, because some of them have been teammates and, they're going back in the hallways, hugging each other. Like, this is not a normal situation. Like, that doesn't just happen. It's like, I think it's happened kind of like 3 times. The Peverly incident, which was
he's also getting a lot of praise today for the fact that after his incident, he pushed to have defibrillators at every rink heavily. So there's a very good chance that the reason Bouwmeester is alive today is because of Peverly.
Yeah. And
thankfully, Peverly pulled through from his own incident, right? Because it's crazy, man.
And then, I remember one other one was a Red Wing player a while back,
so
10 years ago.
My brain is...
I can't remember who,
I've seen the name and I can't think of it right now.
But yeah, like, man, it's crazy. And like just random health incidents like that. It's like, yeah, no one wants to play that game anymore after that. Like, and that's a long emotional break. There's no one wants to play hockey.
No.
So
You're just asking for trouble too.
yeah.
Ticket holders, I mean, if you're going to get upset over something like that, maybe reevaluate your priorities.
Seriously.
Again, we've talked about it like, I don't know, 10, 15 times this year. Fans want hockey players to be robots. They don't want the emotion until it's happy emotion. They don't want guys to get down. They don't want guys to get angry. They don't want this, but they love it when a guy like Ovechkin goes and parties for 3 weeks in Vegas, right? Like stuff like that. These guys are human beings, and I couldn't imagine that. Like, it's think about, you know, friend of a friend's parent dies or something. Maybe you knew him well, and it's like, you're not going to work the next day.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine being in the same room as a person that maybe just died?
Right. Like, think about like any other work environment, right?
Yeah,
if someone has a heart attack or something in the middle of your workday,
that's not happening.
Let's chill.
Yeah, right. So it just doesn't make it doesn't make any sense to say, man, they should have played that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely the right decision.
This may impact the Avs and the Blues in their playoff run. Right?
Yeah,
like,
it's gonna
if the Avs end up going crazy like they are right now, 5 in a row, and catch the Blues, that game in hand may very well be very important.
Yeah.
And again, I don't. There's no piece of me that thinks that game should have happened after the fact.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm really glad the NHL very quickly made the decision, and knowing the facts, it made it probably way easier.
Yeah.
Because
like that. Yeah. How serious?
It's not like he
was.
just fainted like TJ Brody did at practice.
Right. Right.
Right. Anyway, to some more exciting and happier lands.
Yeah.
We'll start with the Wild game because, like we said, we recorded last episode prior to that game.
Mm-hmm.
Nice win for the Avs again.
Definitely.
Frankie got his first game in 19 days. First start in 19 days.
Yep.
The Avs on a back-to-back, going for the 4th win in a row. Great rivalry game.
Oh,
it may not have been
definitely
a barn burner by any stretch. 3-2, only goals in the the second period.
Yeah, all 5 goals.
All 5 goals in
this
this game were in the second.
That's
right?
Odd.
Very odd. But at the same time, it had action all game.
Oh, yeah. And, like, the thing about this game is, well, like you already said, rivalry. Like, you get that vibe right out of the gates in this game. And when you have games, rivalry games, it's usually not a free-flowing game, It was lots of basically just grindy, gritty plays along the boards, some chippy crap, a lot of chippy crap. Like, if you know Minnesota, that's how they play the game. There's a little bit of bullshit, in my opinion, especially that early headshot on McKinnon, which was like so blatant too, like such a blatant hit to the head. It wasn't like overly aggressive by any means, or like intent to injure or anything. I don't think, but he definitely shoulder to the face of McKinnon, and McKinnon kind of just gets knocked, and he's like, oh, like what the hell just happened? So that was kind of bullshit. But that's the kind of game it was. It was just a fierce, like, important game for both teams as well. Yeah, it was a good one. It was a grindy, feisty game.
The first period, the one thing that was nice to see too was Makar and Nate were very impactful in the first. Like,
yeah,
obviously they didn't put any pucks behind Dubnyk, but you could tell they were there to impose their will on the play. Like, it wasn't going to be one of the nights where Makar was kind of invisible again. I think he's been pretty solid for the last week. at least. Like, pretty much since the
Yeah.
break, I think he's been solid again.
For sure.
That being said, it's nice to see him actually put some points on the board. Again, nothing in the first period points-wise, but, man, Frankie, that save he made, what was it, just about 10 minutes in on the breakaway? Who was it? Was it Fiala?
Yeah. Actually, I don't know.
Maybe not.
I know I tweeted about it, so.
But it was a hell of a save. Stayed with him. Just good to see out of Frankie because 19 days, like I said, 18, 19, depends how you want to classify it. That's a long time, and I'm very surprised it took this long for him to get back in action because they've had plenty of opportunity to put him in.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially going into the break the way they went, where it was kind of half and half Frankie and Gruby because Gruby was maybe struggling a bit. Frankie was so-so. Like, he was better. But I'm very surprised that it took until a back-to-back to get Frankie in because, you could have played him in Ottawa on Thursday.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering.
Give him an easy start.
I don't know if they just wanted to get Grubauer in kind of a groove, which mean, it kind of worked, right?
Kind of, definitely worked.
Yeah. So I don't know. It all worked out, which is good.
There's a couple of things that are pretty evident and pretty non-coincidental with the 5-game win streak. 1 goal against, 1 goal against, 1 goal against, 2 goals against, 0 goals against.
Yeah.
Anybody want to do some quick maths and pull up a goals against average in those 5 games?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1?
1 goals against average.
I mean,
you're going to win a lot of hockey games doing that.
Especially when you're the Avalanche.
Yeah.
And you can put up the offense, too.
But at the same time, right, they scored 2 goals against Columbus.
Yeah.
They scored 3 against Minnesota and basically scored 2 against Ottawa.
Right. And
right, empty netter, 1 minute left, right?
It's 2 big 1-goal wins,
Huge.
which also is another major thing that is just valuable to learn in that situation and adapt in those situations because a lot of games this year have not been, especially our wins, have not been 1-goal wins like we've tend to.
Well, and it's also a case of a lot of the wins that the Avs have had in close games, it's not a close game win.
Yeah.
It's the Avs let them score too late, and it turned into a close game.
Yeah, like they were up 3-1, 4-1, or whatever.
Right?
Yeah,
Stuff like that. So that's these are different in the fact that the third period lockdown was on.
Yeah.
For all of them, but I'd say like the Ottawa game, yes, like obviously nobody scored in the third in the last 5 games either. But, like, I'm not really too worried about the third period when you're up 6-1 against Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm not really too worried about the third period when you're up 4-1 against Ottawa, right? Or, like, you're up a couple.
Yeah.
It's these 1-goal games and 2-goal games where you're like, man, this is the time where that 1 third period goal bites you in the ass in a hurry. And the Avs have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, it's been goaltending, it's been defense, it's been the whole 6-man unit. And it's not like they've kept teams to 2 shots.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Ottawa had, 10 or 11 in the third? I believe Minnesota had 10. Yeah, they had 10 in the third. Right? So it's not necessarily that, where they're just dominating teams in the third.
Yeah.
But beggars can't be choosers. This is a huge step in the right direction for the Avs, because it's about damn time.
Yeah. And that's the thing, too, is like the opposition in those instances are desperate at that situation, right? Like, they're not just going to, roll over and die, except for Buffalo.
Well, and I wouldn't really get too crazy over Ottawa either.
Yeah. But
Minnesota,
they put on some pressure, though, too, right?
Like, Minnesota, A, it's a rivalry game.
Oh, yeah.
B, they're not rolling over and dying quite yet.
Yeah.
So they're still looking for 2 points.
For sure. I mean,
obviously Columbus is a playoff team, right? Like,
yeah,
currently.
But yeah, like, invaluable experience and just getting into that mindset in those third periods to be that defensively
it's just
sound.
So nice to see finally.
Yeah.
After bitching and moaning about late period goals and third periods Still get a bitch and moan about the penalty kill, but still, baby steps. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah, and like, we talked about this kind of right around New Year's and stuff, how this had to get changed, this had to get figured out, and lo and behold, they did a pretty damn good job of actually figuring it out. So
far,
it's good news.
So yeah, Minnesota. Well, I guess jump into the power play they had at the end of the first period was pretty solid. Dubnyk made some crazy saves.
Yeah, he was
especially
good in the first.
The one timer from Rantanen after, I think Dubnyk slides to his right, I believe, and the rebound ends up at the point. One timer pass to Rantanen, and Dubnyk gets across, makes a save, no rebound on a play that I thought was in the back of the net for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Outrageous save.
Yeah,
gets him into the first intermission 0-0. Happy. Again, you don't have to score on every power play.
Yeah.
But you got to generate something. You have to generate something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the second starts out a bit weird. Penalty, shorthanded, and Pebbles gets a gift.
Yep.
An absolute gift.
Pretty
that
much,
is a beer league goal right there. I'd say this second period, you could almost do this. Now, Dubnyk wasn't exactly super confident in the third, but his first and his third period are Minnesota periods.
Mm-hmm.
His second period was an Edmonton Oiler period.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you.
He struggled.
He did not have the best third or second.
Yeah, just about every goal, you're like, ooh.
But that first one for Pebbles, minute and a half into the period, that's right at his blocker, and he just moves it out of the way.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But,
very nice of you.
Super good work by Calvert. He freaking sets that whole goal up, and then sends Belly on his way. But just like, man, I love watching them two on the PK, because with them two on the PK, you'd think our PK would be better, but shit. Just happens.
I have theories of why the PK sucks.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
All right,
because it really shows its bad. It just really shows its badness in the Fiala goal.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna save it for that.
All right.
The first goal of the game for Minnesota is the first power play goal of the game.
Yeah, which this one's tough.
Which it's tough. It is tough, but it's also the same thing that happens on the second power play goal, which I'm going to save it. But Cole blocks a shot. He's out of the play. That is
pretty much, right?
Brutal shot block. You can't expect him to do absolutely nothing after that. So it's a 5-on-3. Okay.
Hobbling around.
I mean, all well and good. Like, you're at a super disadvantage. I'm not rattled by any stretch by the fact that they got scored on in this, because they literally just took Ian Cole out of the play by smashing a puck into his ankle, and he can't walk on it. Like,
which it's surprising that this guy's so strong, right? And just not strong, tough.
Yeah, like you think again what we talked about a few episodes ago with like how nuts he is and how nuts he was in his rehab in the summer. Like, this dude is a horse.
It's a freaking android, dude.
Yeah,
like,
it's not. I don't know.
Yeah,
he must have some interesting colors on his body, because those bruises must be intense.
Yeah,
but the problem I have with this goal is the fact that as it falls apart, the Avs don't have a home base. Like, you kind of saw it. You really saw it on Saturday in Columbus. You kind of see it against Ottawa in both games in the last week. When things start to go sideways, everybody knows their job and they collapse. They have, like, they know how to take away the highest scoring chances.
Right.
This play happens, stuff falls apart. Ian Cole is knocked out of the play, and then you have Eric Johnson trying to cover two guys. And instead of being able, and I understand this is like super quick, super fast read, but you have Eric Stahl backdoor on the wrong hand for a one-timer, and then you have whoever scored the goal, which would be Spurgeon, a little higher in the slot with the right hand for a one-timer. Now, obviously the backdoor pass, if it gets through, is a tap in most likely. However, because Stahl is on the wrong hand, it's a lot harder.
It's a pretty difficult
It's
shot.
a really difficult tap.
It's not really a one
plus
touch.
plus the fact that the way the pass had to go through, you might have got Frankie's stick on it.
Yeah.
But instead of taking a guy, Johnson gets caught in no man's land in the middle of both and takes nobody.
Yeah.
Right? So it's the case of when shit goes sideways for the Avs, they don't know what to do ever. Ever. And that's the penalty kill. That is penalty kill 101 because shit goes sideways on a penalty kill. That's the point.
Yeah.
Right?
I can
Seam
see
pass.
that.
The moment a seam pass happens, your
Yeah.
plan is gone.
Yeah, and usually right when one high winger or something is caught out of position, they get caught a bit.
Let's just skip to the second goal where Fiala dances Nieto.
Mm-hmm.
What happens after Nieto gets danced? Well, it's 5-on-3 now because he just danced Nieto and he's on the point trying to chase.
Mm.
Confer decides he's going to go on a knee in the middle of the slot and cover absolutely no one.
Yeah.
Because why? Because he doesn't have a clue on what to do in an emergency situation. And it's killing me because it's what's wrong with the penalty kill almost every single night.
Yeah.
You need to understand where the threats are. And if you scout properly and you have the right plan, it's like, okay, this guy gets all alone with nobody on him and we have 3 guys left. Well, this, and this is dangerous. And good penalty killers generally know that. Just good defensive players in general.
Yeah.
It's, like Patrice Bergeron doesn't have an issue with just instantly going, okay, this guy's wide open here. I bet you there's a guy here wide open. Sticks
Right.
his stick in the lane. Done. Doesn't even have to look at it. It's there. He knows it.
Yeah.
And I understand the Avs don't have Patrice Bergeron.
Yeah.
And not every team has Patrice Bergeron on their penalty kill. But you need to have the home base, if you want to call it that, or like you have to have something to fall back on in times like that where it's an emergency.
Yeah, it's like a full unit awareness.
Both guys, Eric Johnson and Confer, drop to a knee, try to
Yeah.
put their stick on the ice to block a pass and block a lane, and they just were in no man's land doing absolutely nothing. I don't know, like Johnson, I understand he's trying to take the backdoor pass away from Stahl, and he might have been successful at it if they did try the backdoor pass. Confer puts his stick like directly in the middle of the slot. The only thing that's going to do is tip a puck in your own net. The only thing that's going to do is tip a puck in your own net.
Yeah, it's not like the most useful strat.
But again, this is 55 games in, or sorry, this would be 54 games in the season.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me this team doesn't have like an emergency procedure on their penalty kill by now?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, like, we've heard so much the last few games, especially about how amazing the Avs are 5-on-5 and how they're just, leaps and bounds almost above like almost every team in the league when it comes to 5-on-5. But
their special teams, especially their penalty killer, are horrendous.
Yeah, and if we're thinking playoffs, do you know how everybody knows how huge power plays are in the playoffs?
If you get scored on twice on a penalty kill in a playoff game, you lose.
You're going to lose.
100% of the time.
Especially against the teams that are in the playoffs. Like,
100%
they will lock it down.
% of the time you lose that game.
Yeah. So
I'm pulling that stat out of my ass, but I can guarantee you by feel. That's what it feels like.
It's like pretty
I bet
high
you it's in the
percentage.
90s. Like
I mean,
legitimate.
probably, right?
But right, it's just like when you compare it to a team like Columbus, they don't have Patrice Bergeron either. Every time the Avs had something juicy, obviously they hit a lot of posts,
Yeah.
and obviously Elvis was crazy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like the Avs were sitting in the slot wide the hell open, right? And it's because when shit starts to go sideways, whoever's left on Columbus just collapses to the slot.
Yeah.
Obviously harder, easier said than done on a 5-on-3 situation after you beat a guy or you knock a guy out of the play. But if Confer doesn't overcommit on the slot, because like this is the thing with Confers that drives me nuts. You think Fiala's going to pass it straight forward?
Yeah. Especially a
what's
guy
going to
like
happen?
Fiala too,
Like
right?
he's gonna feather it into the slot, and then what's gonna happen? The guy's gonna get two guys on him, and he's gonna get nowhere with the puck.
Yeah.
Fiala's not making that play.
No.
You got to get your stick either in the lane, but it's not like he was using his body to block the shot, right? And it's just like it was just a terrible read. And for guys that have been on the penalty kill all year, it's just brutal that is their emergency plan.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Right? And it's frustrating.
It's an issue. It's a serious issue.
But it's the Avs, so they can outscore their problems, and they do.
Some of the time.
Again, when Devin Dubnyk is in Oilers form, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Nathan McKinnon, a couple minutes after the Spurgeon goal, tying the game, the Avs go on the power play. They work the puck around. Pretty nice move by Makar at the point. Oh, yeah, I meant to say that. We got our good friend Pierre doing the broadcast on Sunday. Good to hear it. Love to hear it.
Yeah.
He was really a big fan of Makar on this play. I don't know if I was as excited about it as he was. It's
just kind of like, yeah, well,
it's Pierre,
he
but
always does that.
yeah, exactly. I think that's part of the
I've
problem.
seen better plays by him this year.
Yeah, right. That might be the main issue. But, he kind of looks off McKinnon, then gives it to McKinnon. Landy with the unassisted, should be an assist screen in front.
Yeah, it was a big screen.
Takes away Devin Dubnyk's eyes big time. Like,
Yeah, he had nothing, right?
I don't know what Devin Dubnyk's supposed to do on this one aside from be tighter. Right? Like, when you can't see the puck, that's all you got, especially short side like that. He's got to go down and just be as tight and as solid as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all you can do.
And he wasn't.
Especially
and
when you can't see.
Puck goes through him, right?
Yeah.
Nathan McKinnon through the legs of Landeskog in the net.
Yep.
Same hole as Belmar's. Very different situation.
Yeah.
This one I don't blame on Dubnyk as much, but it's, as fans, however, how many of you guys have asked Grubauer to make this save? Right? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I know for a fact this has been asked for Grubauer to make this save.
Yeah.
100%, right? So, Minnesota wants him to make that save, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
It's tough. Now, 3 minutes after that, Landeskog.
This one's like just as. This one's almost worse.
This
for
one,
Doobie.
This one is a looker. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'd say the worst of the game is Belmar's.
Yeah,
but
just
this one,
purely.
This one to non-goalie, at least for sure, looks the worst.
Yeah, just a big fat rebound.
Big fat rebound, absolutely brutal.
Right into the high slot.
Like, it's not even a hard shot.
Yeah, I know. And he just like whips his blocker
And he
out.
just like, boom, whips his blocker out, smashes that into the slot.
Yeah.
That puck's got to get smashed up out of play or into the glass in the corner.
If you're doing that.
I don't know what Devin Dubnyk was doing. Man, it's Oilers Dubnyk. I swear to God, that is like, I don't know what happened. Maybe Connor McDavid got to him and he's hurt. Now he's like, oh, I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He struggled.
But then
he's having a bad year.
The real
too.
problem with this goal is Landeskog gets a whole lot of nothing on it. Knuckle puck just hits it right.
That's why it looks so bad too. Again, because it's
like,
right after the big rebound.
Right after the big rebound. Not a hard shot. Not a hard rebound.
Yeah.
And it sneaks inside the post.
Yeah.
Good for Gabe. Definitely fitting.
Yeah, I mean,
with the new,
it's good to get him
with
on
the
scoreboard.
With the line change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
good
they
to see him
just switched that too.
Good to see him do something with his new line. Definitely kickstarted him because we get to Ottawa and he had a night.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to see Avs go up 3-1 here. I don't know what else you say. Like it's just that second period for Dubnyk was.
That was rough. It was rough to watch.
It was the difference.
Yeah.
But you look at it, right? Minnesota gets poor goaltending. Colorado gets poor penalty killing, and it's a 1-goal game.
It makes for a game.
It's a 1-goal game. Frankie was really good.
He played super solid in this game. Like, there were multiple times in this game where, what the hell is going on with the defense? Like, there was a few breakdowns in this game, 100%.
Yep.
But Frankie standing tall, he made a lot of good saves and a lot of panicky situations that he nullified and, covering the puck up on. Same thing with Grubauer in against the Sens. There's
Well, and it
some
was,
situations there
like,
too, but
2 minutes after Landeskog scored, he made that unreal save. The one-timer, I think it was 2-on-1. Pass was right to left, like to his glove side, and he just robbed him with the pad right before the commercial break. Good timing. Nice.
yeah, and he had quite a few nice glove saves too.
He did.
That right hand. They were kind of silly cider. I hate that. Silly cider. That's the one I was thinking about Pierre. I'm like, oh yeah, Pierre and his damn silly cider comments.
I didn't even.
Goofy. If you're gonna say it right, Pierre.
We're not skateboarding, Jared.
Yeah.
God.
Oh yeah, guys. I'm a silly cider goalie.
But yeah, so it's a decent end of the period aside from the Fiala power play goal. One thing I didn't mention on this goal, hell of a move by Fiala.
Oh yeah.
Like
He's a confident player right now.
all frustration aside with the Avs penalty kill, that was a sick move by Fiala.
It was a sick goal.
Great finish by Fiala.
Yeah.
It's just an all around good play by Fiala. It's just the Avs can play it better.
Totally.
Nieto,
he took advantage.
I mean, maybe don't get absolutely destroyed like that, Nieto, but shit happens.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Right? But it's just like hockey is a game where I think we've said it before. It's not one mistake that generally ends up in the back of the net. It's multiple in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And Nieto getting burned, you can live with if the breakdown behind him doesn't happen too.
Yeah. Last line of defense,
Right? So anyway, end of the second. That's the scoring for the game, folks. Game's over. Let's go. But no, really, the third period, I think the Avs played fantastic. As good as I can ask them to play.
And also, considering what was going on with flashbacks to Colorado ambulance starting to happen.
Yeah, right. Forgot that was in the third.
Nas goes down. That was unfortunate.
Very weird. So, because there was the play on Saturday in the Columbus game where he went off. Then, did Cole go off? No, Bellemare went off in Columbus, came back, and
No, that was all in this game.
No. There was.
Oh, but from
Columbus, there was that stretch of like 5 or 6 minutes. Yeah, it was Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Kadri, Bellemare, and then Cole.
Yeah.
And they all came back, thankfully. But then you go into Minnesota and you see Kadri do his thing. I have a feeling that is from Saturday night.
It could be a compounding kind of thing, or yeah, it was something.
I'm not like I don't know if he was injured on Saturday, and maybe he just aggravated it some more after, like, because it's an awkward fall. But again, like it was said on the broadcast, right? It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Right. You can definitely see like a tweak maybe there, but when you compound it with the fact that maybe what it was already weakened from Saturday night,
right? Or
why he left the game Saturday night.
It's stiff. It's whatever.
Right? Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Sucks though, because news came out today, 4 to 6 weeks for Kadri.
Yeah. And thank God also because Burakovsky and Bellemare in that third period also went down.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell is happening right now? Honestly, Burakovsky looked like he was really hurt.
Yeah.
And he went off and he was in agony. But then he was fine. So maybe he just got, really Charlie horse or whatever. I think it was like inside of his knee.
Yeah, the inside of the knee, right. I remember that now.
Yeah. And then
I
don't know what happened to Bellemare.
Yeah.
I don't even remember seeing a replay or anything, and everybody was kind of like, I don't really know, but looks like he's hurt, and he kind of went down the tunnel, came back. So both of them are okay.
Yeah, thankfully, because
jeez, man, if we would have lost all three of those guys in one game.
Yeah, because think about this too, right? And obviously Bellemare's not on this line, but like Kadri, Nichushkin, and Burakovsky, just barely a week of excellent play together.
Yeah,
and you lose your centerman.
Yeah,
have fun, keep it up. It's frustrating, but we know it's the Avs. They've dealt with it all year.
Right? It's not like this has not happened before.
As I tweeted today, they were healthy for too long. They had to
yeah, right.
Pay some more sacrifices to the hockey gods, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta. Not enough adversity yet this year. Okay, we still got 30, not even 30.
Can we lose like a minor guy, like Kamenev or something. Maybe not.
Like, if
our
we're gonna
second
lose
line
someone-
center.
Yeah, I know, right? And it just sucks because he was just starting to get going, right?
Yeah.
Again.
Well, yeah, that both of them, right?
Yeah.
And
So
it's unfortunate.
hopefully he recovers quickly. Yeah, it's kind of like 4 to 6 weeks is kind of
Yeah.
the timeline we're looking at. So
Which at first it was week to week, but like a long week to week, and then today 4 to 6 weeks. Which hopefully it's nothing too crazy. Hopefully it's not something where it's like, he's got to get surgery in the off season or something.
yeah, seriously. And yeah, hopefully it heals up well enough.
The
So he can play well.
The one really solid play, and the Minnesota Dubnyk showed up, was that 2-on-1 where McKinnon, man, that pass on that 2-on-1 where he like kind of curled it and then threw it between the defender's legs
Oh
to
yeah.
Nichushkin for the one-timer.
Oh yeah.
Man, that pass is sexy. Oh,
It's just like he knows it's there, and he's just like, just let me get in the right position here.
Yep.
Whoop. Yep. Slips it over. Yeah.
and then by the skin of his teeth, Devan Dubnyk saves it.
Yeah.
Makes the save, but squeaks through him, and then his back skate
Right.
catches it. Like, are you kidding me?
I was trying to think exactly how the. Yeah, right.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that was crazy, man. It's like just the tiniest little turn of his leg, and
Yeah.
he almost looked like he got injured in that game for a point too. It was kind of weird, but he's
I'd
okay.
pretend to be injured after that second period, too.
Nuke had a really good game too in that game. He's been playing phenomenal.
He's been unreal
Yeah.
with, obviously, his newfound and hopefully, I don't know, hopefully they can figure out how to keep that second line moving, because,
Yeah, it already is gone anyway, so
yeah,
it's
right.
completely dismantled.
It's
after
unfortunate.
the Sens game,
But
which it worked out.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
So, yeah, I mean, that's 10-7 were shots in the third for Minnesota. Not terrible. Obviously, you'd like to see that the other way around for the Avs. Push the pace and play defense. Best place to play defense is in their zone.
Yeah,
But, I mean,
Minnesota does a good job though. Like they're another one of those teams who's just like a heavy team unit, you know.
and it wasn't like there was a bunch of scrambly, like really high quality chances from the Wild either.
Yeah, they didn't really get the looks that they wanted, especially in the
exactly.
third period. So it's a good shutdown period and just a good desperation stave off.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
On to Tuesday's game, the Avs reunite with the Ottawa Senators, this time at the Pepsi Center. First game at home after the 5-game roadie.
Yeah, feels good.
Feels good, especially when the Moose is loose.
The Moose.
That first period was interesting.
Yeah, it's probably a good word for it.
That's like this for being a 2-goal hockey game. I'm not counting the empty netter. It wasn't like you would expect a 2-0 hockey game against the Ottawa Senators to be absolutely horrendous. And I feel like some people might have thought that after that one. But there was a lot of like really entertaining moments in this game.
Totally.
There was obviously the Nathan McKinnon headshot.
Yeah, I messed
thing
up
at
earlier
the
and said
first
that was
bit
in
of
the
the
other game. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but
I noticed, but I was like,
And then
maybe I
immediately-
missed one.
yeah, immediately after I was like, yeah, that was in the Ottawa game. That's what happens when you do a podcast after or before a game, and I just got mixed up. But yeah,
Regardless, it was a headshot. Yes, it wasn't the worst you're ever gonna see.
definitely not.
Should have been a penalty. Definitely, like, glad to
Should've
see
been a penalty.
McKinnon wasn't hurt.
Yeah, seriously. Imagine
Fired
he
him
gets
up.
concussed or
Fired
something
him
off
up though.
Oh yeah, I mean that's not what you want to do against Mr. McKinnon. I'll tell you.
I know you wanna play the body, you wanna make life difficult on him, but waking up the beast is not ideal.
I'm not instructing you to do this, but if you're gonna do something like that to McKinnon, you might want to make sure you actually hurt him, because he'll come back and he'll bite you in the ass.
Landeskog though, captain, my captain.
My man.
Loved the scrum
Yeah.
that started.
It was funny.
I think I looked away for a second or something and turned back, and I was like, whoa, what the hell am I missing? Rewinded a bit, and I was like, oh, all right.
Kind of loved it. He just like starts pushing him into Hogberg.
Yeah.
That was solid. I love you, Landy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the Burakovsky crossbar to start the game. Classic Avs fashion. Might as well hit a post.
Oh man, right away I'm just like, fuck, here we go.
Of course, here we go again. But yeah, Landeskog stepping up for McKinnon. Now, he didn't do a lot of damage or anything.
Yeah.
Heard on the broadcast, can't remember which one of them said it, but the old third man in conversation they had.
Yeah.
Shoot me. Please just don't ever talk about that again.
Yeah, that was...
A third man in is required to have a fight. You can't have a third man in a scrum, guys. Like, that's just not... I don't think that's ever been a rule.
Yeah. You're allowed to pull someone off your player.
Yeah, you're allowed to, scrum with people because, that's what happens every whistle.
I mean, it pretty much happens every game. So
that's the whole point of the whole, defense can't come down from the point so that there's an unfair advantage of 5 defensive guys and 3 offensive guys.
Right.
That's the whole point so that, there's third man ins. But anyway, that's my just a little annoyance from the broadcast on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Great kill for Landeskog there.
It was.
I'm really happy the Avs got that kill.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
You have to kill that penalty.
I mean, I feel like our penalty kill in this game was actually a lot better. And
it should be.
a lot more aggressive.
It should be against a team that doesn't have offensive weapons, except for
100%.
Brady Tkachuk.
Yeah.
And maybe...
Duclair-ish.
Duclair, and I was thinking... trade bait, what's his name?
Shabbat?
No.
Pajot?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
The Avs get their own power play going a little bit after that. Very good power play, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I was very happy with that first power play. That would have been right in the middle of the period, 11 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
They had so many good chances.
Right. Yeah. That's what we need to see from the power play, too, is just more creativeness. I noticed, there's, almost 2 different power play mentalities that the Avs get into. There's the insane one that we're hopefully going to get, which is creativity everywhere, people moving,
McKinnon
one-timer, nice
McCarr
passes,
one-timer, some
right?
sort of wrist shot from the point, whatever.
And then there's the power play where everything looks forced. And it's everyone's trying to build this plan or something. And it's we have to stick to these exact passes and stuff. And it's it gets shut down. It's too predictable and so forced.
Yeah.
There's 2 different styles and there's no real in between. I don't know if you've noticed this. It's either a good power play or it's a shit power play.
And that is exactly the difference, right? It's a 5-on-4. Somebody's open.
Yeah, exactly.
And if nobody's open, you're open. Right? That if they have the seams, all the seams and all the passing lanes blocked, you're open.
Yeah.
Shoot. And for some reason, the Avs, when they're struggling, they get into this mentality where it's, I can't shoot. I got to make a pass.
Yeah.
Fire it in the goalie's pads, get a rebound in front, win a battle, score a rebound.
Well, and the thing is, too, is
if that's the case, right?
Every power play, we got Donskoy or Landeskog or Nuke in front.
These guys are good at winning battles in front.
This is what they do. Throw it in front. They'll figure it out.
Right? So they, for some reason, it's kind of... It reminds me of beer league hockey, where beer league hockey players are too proud to dump the puck in.
Yeah,
it's like these guys are on the power play, and I'm too good to just shoot for a rebound.
But seriously though, also it is like that breaking in over the blue line. We see it all the time. We're constantly doing the back pass and stuff too, right? But not all the time. When you see a good creative play, just McKinnon booking it in, making a little left pass to someone who just hops the line and boom, it's in deep. Half the time it's doing this stupid drop pass and then it's not working.
And trying to skate through 3 guys to get the puck in. And it's just
and then it gets stripped and it's going the other way.
The good thing about, and I understand, you don't want to dump the puck in on a power play all the time.
Yeah,
but if you're going to do the drop pass and a team is stepping up on the blue line, dump it behind them, make them skate.
Yeah,
they'll back
you're
off
going full speed too.
They'll back off on future zone rushes because they're not going to win that race if you're going full speed and they're standing still.
Right, give them something else to think
about.
Right,
so it's just, you got to add in all the tools. It's allowed. Do it. Yeah. And I understand you don't want to go win the battle because it's a 50-50 puck, quote unquote. But sometimes you got to do it because it's the long game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's frustrating because when the Avs power play gets stagnant, that's exactly why.
Yeah, for sure.
End of the period. I guess I don't want to go too far. It's just I want to get to Moose.
I mean,
is pretty much, it's pretty quiet the rest of the period.
Yeah.
The one thing, and I hate being this guy, but there was that one rush, I don't know if you remember it, where McKinnon is driving down the boards on the left side, left wing, and he beats the dude just at the blue line and then gets hauled down and there's just no call.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah. Seriously.
you want to try that again, Stripes? Like, I don't know how that's not a trip. I don't understand. I don't get it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to be the ref guy. Like, you know
I
how
do
much
it sometimes, yeah.
you know how much I defend refs on this podcast.
Yeah.
That one, it's like, that is the typical, like, that is the 100% prototypical, like, this has to get called penalty in the NHL where
Seriously.
you're beating a guy with speed and he just hauls you down.
Yeah. Like, how is that not?
That one just, I was like, I wrote down, I'm like, are you serious? Like,
Seriously.
but yeah, this is the one I wanted to bring up before Moose. It was like a minute and a half left. This was Gerard and Landeskog. I think, they smoked a post, I think, or something. I don't remember. I can't think of it now. My crappy notes, but it was unreal. Oh no, this is Landy and Gerard had a little give and go. Right, that's the one. Landeskog and Gerard. I think Gerard picks the puck off like at the blue line, gives a quick one to Landeskog. Landeskog gives it back to him in the corner. And then they drive the net. Gerard passes it back to Landy, one-timer in front. Big save by Hogberg.
Yeah.
Big scrum, and then friggin' Confer. Yeah, Confer just like chunks the rebound in the corner. You're just like, oh, man. Which, at this point, it was a 0-0 game, and you're just like, dude, like,
Yeah.
we haven't had a ton of chances this period, and you just chunk that into the corner. It's, God.
Yeah.
But Moose makes it all better.
Man.
He makes it all better with a beautiful spinorama.
It was so sick.
Like,
Good pass by Nate to start it off.
Very.
It's a really nice little slick pass up, and then. Yeah.
And this is what confidence can do to a guy. Because Randon's been okay since the break. We kind of talked about it last episode and the episode before that.
Yeah.
He's had a couple of goals since the break. It's been fine. But he didn't look like this, like he did for the rest of this game.
Like superstar material.
Yeah, right. Which is, 99-point guy, stuff like that, right? He's legit. We know that. It's just been a while since we've seen it.
Yep.
He gets the spinorama off and then drives the net and protects the puck, and he's got the puck on a string on his backhand, and that puck is roofed so fast.
Oh, so I love backhanders so much.
I've said it-
especially like that. Like,
I've said it before. It's so hard to read a backhand because he could have just as easily gone just over the pad and into.
Or 5-hole.
Or
even,
5-hole.
Right? That's a 5-hole
Right,
move
like-
right there.
You know, because of the back pressure that he's probably not coming back across the net
Yeah.
with it. Even if he tries, he's not gonna get the shot off. But man, he puts that thing under the bar so fast. And how amazing, Avs fans, does it feel to finally be the team scoring in the last minute of the period?
Yeah, that was nice. That was really, really
Hot
nice.
damn.
Everything just worked out so good on that goal. It set up the rest of the game, right? And oh man. The thing too with that goal is like the backhander's nice, the spinorama's nice, but right after the spinorama, that D-man is with him.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who it is, but he does such a good job with his left outside leg to just protect that puck.
Yeah.
He cannot get his stick over. It's so close like the whole time.
That's the thing, right?
But he
Like,
stick to the puck.
there was no chance of Rantanen should have never even thought about going back across the net because he would have lost the puck, right? So Hogberg knows he's probably going glove side or 5-hole,
Yeah.
right? So it's the options are less.
Yeah.
So he makes such a good shot. It's ridiculous, man.
That was one of the nicest goals for the Avs this year.
I
sure.
saw I heard on the broadcast, goal of the year candidate.
Nah, it's not.
There's been some.
It's maybe like a top 20.
It's a goal of the year for the Avs candidate.
It's
it's top
probably
5 for the Avs right now, probably.
Yeah.
But
yeah, there's been too
Dude.
many nice goals.
dude, like McDavid's had 5 better goals than that.
Yeah. But freaking nice.
Loved it.
Beautiful.
However, caveat: the Avs tried to give it back. 30 seconds left in the period, basically. You're taking a freaking face off at center ice. and the Sens get a really, really good chance before the end of the period. And it's just,
Yeah.
could you imagine how different this game would be if it was a 1-1 at the end of the one?
Oh yeah.
Now, again, second period, no goals scored. Not a boring period. Not a lot that happened, like flashy stuff. But I think, is that where the crazy gong show happens in front? Yeah.
In front of the
Yeah,
Avs.
right off the bat in the period, right?
Yeah, right.
And it happened for Colorado in front of Grubauer,
Mm-hmm.
and then happened for Ottawa in front of Hogberg like 2 minutes later.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
it was
to start the period.
hectic
Just like,
period.
what is happening?
Yeah. And like, man,
That one, though, to start the period, Grubauer made like 4 or 5 saves.
man, talk about strength on his left leg and stuff there. I remember. And
Closed the 5-hole.
you're talking about teams collapsing. That was wild.
Every player on the ice almost
Like-
was in underneath the hash marks. And
There's like 3 or 4 Avs on the ground in front. Like, holy shit. It was.
so, yeah, like,
There's a few times.
I'm
like
pretty
that.
sure Grubauer makes 4 or 5 saves, and I'm pretty sure the Avs blocked like 3 or 4 shots.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell was happening, but it stayed out. So
That is the hockey gods bless the Avs on that one, because we've seen that one go sideways.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
way more often than not.
Totally.
But I just like, what is happening?
Yeah, pretty much. You're just holding your breath, like, Grubauer, you got it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Gruby stood tall there. Like,
He
didn't-
had such a good game.
the thing that's key with the scrum there is that he doesn't overcommit on a shot, right? Like, he didn't open up
Yeah, totally.
ever.
He was pretty contained and
Yeah, he just was like, I'm just gonna let it hit me.
just block
It's
the
fine.
bottom of this net as much as I can.
Because if he tries to read like a guy going shelf in that mess, and he opens his 5-hole
yeah,
and it hits a guy, and then they just shovel the 5-hole, right? Stuff like that. Like, he didn't do any of that, which is
and maybe that's
a lot of what's the word? Discipline.
yeah, right. And like I feel like that's lessons that they've learned. This
Well, you look
year,
at
right?
you look at some of the bigger guys. Pecorine is the 100% example I'm looking for. He's very flaily
Mhm.
in plays like that. He would have been all over the place. He would have been opening up holes in his arms and stuff,
Yeah,
just trying to get the puck with his blocker or stick or whatever. And then you just end up opening a hole, and almost 90% of the time it just funnels right into that hole. It seems every
Yeah.
time. But good for Gruby that it was part of a penalty kill that, again, not exactly the best penalty kill when something like that happens, but, it worked. It's one of the things, right? It's really hard to score when you're trying to shoot it past 2 or 3 guys blocking shots.
well, I mean, and you kind of talked about that with the PK against the Wild. How you need like a fail safe, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it worked.
Yeah.
It's not pretty.
Wasn't
but
pretty, for
Everybody was putting their body on the line, and they were ready for it. There was a lot of shot blocks by the Avs in this game.
Very.
That was solid.
Again, like I said, a couple minutes later, the Avs had the same kind of thing down at the Sens end. This one was like 2 shots, but it was still a scrum, and it was just like,
Oh yeah.
somebody want to try and make a play here?
I think that was when they kind of hem in Ottawa for like 2 straight shifts. pretty
Yeah, I
much, right?
think so.
Because I'm pretty sure that was when I made this note that like Calvert, Belmar, and Nieto, I've said this like so many damn times this year, but like their freaking possession that they drive through their forecheck and their cycle, and they're just so relentless on the boards. Like they totally created that whole chance because they stuff Sens in that offensive zone, and then they all get a change.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure Jost, I can't even remember who the hell's playing with him, but like whoever the heck it was, the next line comes out. I'm pretty sure it's the third line, and then they get that huge, again, more pressure. It's just awesome. But yeah, I mean, second period was hectic, man.
The other main point of context I want to talk about, Landeskog, Paul, and Grubauer on the breakaway thing that went upstairs, the review that the puck was clearly in the net.
Right.
The puck was clearly in the net. The fact that the ref claims the play was over is...
Yeah, I don't remember honestly when the whistle went on that.
If this was a Senators podcast, we would be pissed.
I mean, yeah, frozen biscuits, they're probably losing their shit over there on that one. I definitely thought it was a goal. Like when you
I
see
did
the
too,
replay,
man.
You're like, oh shit.
You start like, and I will agree with the broadcast on this one. I've watched this play get called a goal this year, where it's Landeskog destroys Paul directly into Grubauer. Yeah. That's not his fault. It ain't his fault that the puck goes in after he smokes Grubauer when he's not the one that forced himself into Grubauer.
Right. Also, it's just come on, Landeskog. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that.
First of all, the Avs have the ambulance thing. Not exactly ideal. Maybe don't try and hurt your goalie.
Yeah.
First. Second, don't push your guy. He's on a breakaway. You're not helping. Take his stick away. I understand you're trying you're trying to mess with him. Well, he didn't take a penalty, so it's like
true.
At least he got that, but super favorable for Grubauer that it's not a goal.
Yeah.
Especially with how the game ends.
Yeah.
But super fortunate for the Avs that it's not a goal either, because that's 1-1 hockey game.
Yeah.
And that's 2 minutes left in the period. Again, it's not the last minute, but it's getting there, and it's just would have been typical compared to just the way the whole period kind of went. It wasn't Ottawa wasn't knocking on the door too much, I'd say.
Yeah.
They had 8 shots in the second, so it's just maybe don't give them a freebie. Like you said, though, to me that's a goal. To me, that's a goal, and I just don't really see the argument against it. It sucks because it's one of those ones where you look at Grubauer and you're like, well, what's he supposed to do? Well, that's great, but what's Paul supposed to do?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's all on Landeskog.
And then, unfortunately for Nick Paul, he chirps the ref a little too much and takes himself an unsportsmanlike.
That was
apparently.
Great. Can't do that.
Not exactly smart, but at the same time, you're playing for the Senators, and you had a goal taken away for no reason.
It's gotta be a little frustrating.
I'm not really sure how I'm not really sure how you tell that guy not to be frustrated.
Well, I don't know. Who knows what he said, right?
Right. Well, exactly, right.
He could have said, "Go F your mother." And
yeah, for sure. It is the NHL. Refs have pretty thick skins. I'm sure he said something pretty bad.
Yeah. I'm
just saying, he had a legitimate reason to be pissed.
I would have been pissed too.
Yeah, man. You're allowed. I think you're allowed to have emotions. You're a person. I'd be pissed too.
Yeah.
That's the second intermission. Third period starts. Shabbat drives the left wing and smashes the crossbar on Grubauer.
Right.
That was kind of far hash mark, I think.
Yeah, and he had. I actually didn't think that Grubauer got anything on this, but he saved it.
Did he?
Yeah, it hits his left shoulder and then hits which is crazy too because Shabbat goes far side top shelf, not over the shoulder. He goes over the far shoulder, which is Shabbat, just being the skill dude that he is.
It was a good shot, and again, like we talked about with Shane on last episode, I believe, or 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, 2 ago.
2 episodes ago. That's kind of the Makar area, I expect. Maybe a little better, right?
Yep.
And Shabbat is a monster. Dude plays
so many minutes.
He's the guy. He's the Erik Karlsson replacement.
I didn't notice that he got an A. That must have been this year.
Probably.
I don't know if someone's injured right now. I don't think so.
He probably had it all year. I guess. I didn't really notice.
But, yeah. I respect that 100%.
Yeah, for sure. He's going to be there a long time.
He's playing almost 30-plus minutes a game.
Half a game.
Remember earlier in the season you were saying that? He was 34 minutes a game?
They go to overtime and in 34 minutes. And you're just like,
because he's just out there for 5 minutes on the 3-on-3. What? Yeah, you can just stay out there.
The second goal of the game, Val Nichushkin, great finish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a pass by Burakovsky.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. So they kind of put Berkey on the first line, which I know you and me both talked about that a lot at the start of the season. I love it. I really, really love that. But I also love that Berkey Nuke chemistry right now. So it's tough, right? But
it's nice to see them on the power play together.
Actually, I guess, yeah. I mean, maybe that's how you do it too. Because in my opinion, Landeskog is getting outperformed by Burakovsky, and Burakovsky fits that line better, in my opinion, than Landeskog does.
5-on-5 for sure.
Yeah, purely because he's way quicker than Landeskog, and he's more along the same skill level as Rantanen and McKinnon. I think their heads mesh better than Landeskog. Landeskog brings a different edge. We know that.
The only issue I see is on the defensive side of the puck with Burakovsky on that line, right?
For sure.
Landeskog is the defense on that line.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it for ages, except for this 5-game winning streak. That is a problem.
Yeah.
The first line defense is a problem.
And that's true, but this is how
kind of playing with fire, but
that's also how I was thinking about it though too, is that you have that one super skill line now, and the rest of those 3 lines are pretty well-rounded, you know, which I kind of like. I liked seeing Donskoy and Landeskog together, and then it was who was playing with them? And Comfer.
Yeah, right.
That was a good grindy, like feisty, also got some skill line though, you know?
It's kind of a modern day energy line.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked
right where
what I was getting out of them.
They can put up offense, but they can also hem you in your own zone kind of thing, beat some bodies around.
And I kind of like that. But I figured that's going to change game to game. And in a game against the Ottawa Senators, that was the way to go.
For sure.
So I like that. I like that top line.
Landeskog gets rewarded for his captaincy at the end with the empty netter, 105 left.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was super fitting because it was from McKinnon to Landeskog.
I know. I loved it.
It's
like, here, buddy, thanks.
It was adorable.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
That's cute.
But the real storyline is the Avs do it. They actually get the shutout. They actually don't make that big mistake that ends up in their back of the net. Nice to see Gruby get his second shutout of the year.
Hell yeah.
He deserved this one. He played really well.
Hell yeah.
He had some shaky ones. There was that one, I think, in the second where he it was just off his blocker and snuck past the post.
Oh, yeah. That was close.
So he definitely got lucky a couple times. Obviously, the goal review he got lucky with.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see the Avs pull out the shutout. That's the Avs' third shutout of the year. The goalie's second shutout of the year. Grubauer gets 2, his second of the year. We all remember Werner having the shutout, but not the shutout.
That was awesome. He still has it.
He still has it.
But 34 saves, man.
Man, he deserved it.
Solid.
And yeah, it's the Sens, so it's not like they were 34 of the hardest shots you've ever seen, but
yep,
you got to take it. That's 5 in a row. The Avs are 8-1-1 in their last 10. They're 1 point back of the Blues with a game in hand.
Because they didn't get to finish their game.
So, but
knows
right,
what's going to happen?
The Avs have a game in hand, and they're still just a point back. So it's great to see. Problem with that is they're only 3 points up on Dallas.
But it's better than it was, right?
It's definitely better than it was.
And if we keep on chugging along at the pace we are right now,
they're also what was that, 9 points ahead of Winnipeg?
Yeah,
So
the gap in that.
They're really solidifying their spot in the top 3 of the Central for sure. We did want to do an interview this week with the guys from the Washington Capitals podcast. Why can't I think of their name right now?
Caps Chirp
podcast. Jared did one very early in the season with them with the Hockey Troll. We definitely wanted to have them on again this week. Just our schedules didn't line up. We were going to do it on the weekend, but that didn't work either.
Yeah.
We will be chatting with them again, maybe a playoff preview episode or something.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We'll have something with them. But that's who the Avs have on Thursday.
Yeah.
Is the Caps. That's a big one. That's the
know.
old measuring stick game.
Hell yeah.
Good to see it. It's good timing, obviously, for the Avs. I just said 8-1-1. Gruby's playing well. The team's playing well.
Mm-hmm.
It's at home. All that good stuff. And then Saturday. Has anybody seen the pictures from inside the stadium?
I just saw them today, and I was like,
ooh,
baby.
Does that look sexy or what?
It looks sick, man. It's going to be sick.
If you're not excited for Saturday, I don't know what gets you excited.
Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be really fun to watch.
I've said it before. I don't know if outdoor games are that exciting on a national scale, but damn are they exciting for the local market.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Or at least the markets in the game. LA, it's a super weird game.
It is weird.
It's super weird.
Matchup.
We talked about it. Could have just as easily been Minnesota. Would have been sick.
Or Dallas or something, right?
Imagine St. Louis.
Yeah, right? That would have been sick.
Right? Something like that. Like, it would have been really cool, but I don't care. It's going to be amazing. Hopefully, we get the weather we want. Snow.
Yeah, yeah, right.
What was that? What the poll end up
Right,
at,
I
Jared?
saw it. I was just looking. It was closer than I thought. And actually, okay, where is it? There it is. 63% said snowy day.
There you go. See?
So, but there's only 11 votes. Damn it.
Come on, guys.
But yeah, so I think 4 would have, or 4 would have said sunny, and then 7 would have said snowy.
Also, congrats to David Nola, who won the giveaway on Twitter. Another thing. For those that are looking for the podcast, we tweeted out that there is a separate feed for the Avs, for the Offside by a Mile podcast. You are still more than welcome. The regular podcast link for like the whole Hockey Podcast Network is still active. If you're listening to it there, if you like listening to ours and maybe some other ones, that's still available. If you're one of those people that likes to download your podcast, listen to them later, maybe not necessarily stream it over your data or whatever, that's what the individual podcast links are for, or like the feeds are for. Obviously, way easier to just download the Offside by a Mile podcast library than it is to download 60 episodes a week plus. But yeah, so again, continue listening if you were listening on the Hockey Podcast Network feed. If not, if you like downloading, come check us out on our individual one. Also, the YouTube is fairly active now. Episodes are getting released the day after we go live. So Thursday episodes, you'll see Friday on YouTube if you want to watch Jared and my pretty face, or, make fun of us in the comments. That's cool too.
You do what you want. Your life is your own.
Probably have another giveaway in March. Right, after the trade deadline stuff. Speaking of that, trade deadline is coming up.
It is. It's sneaking up.
A couple of weeks we kind of talked about.
Just under 2 weeks.
Monday the 24th.
Yeah.
Set your alarms. That is going to be a busy day, especially with the Kadri news. I think the Avs are going to be busy.
Yeah.
It's
I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, right. I think that's the silver lining with the Kadri incident, is the fact that you can get a guy at the deadline, play him, get some good minutes out of him, getting him gelled with the team.
Yep.
And then have Kadri back, and then set your lineup for the playoffs, and hopefully everybody's good to go. Better now than A, happening right at the deadline, or B, after, and you can't do anything about it. Because we know the Avs are contenders. They need to be contenders. They need to be doing something if they can, and the price is right.
Yep.
So, that being said, thanks for listening. Bit of a long one, as per usual. Why wouldn't it be? Again, Elliot Moose is on fire. And we will catch you on Monday.
Adios.
Now a quick word from our sponsors.
Last but not least today, we have a fantastic deal from Reebok. Reebok is offering an extra 50% off if you use the code GETDOWN, no spaces. This would be a perfect time to get yourself some new workout gear, maybe some UFC fight merch. Whatever you're looking for, this code will save you some money. Also, same as with Puffy and NHL Shop. If you shop through our link, which we will tweet after the episode, you can help support us and the Hockey Podcast Network. Again, thanks for tuning in to our growing network of podcasts, and we hope you enjoy our episode. Don't forget to visit us on Twitter at Offside by a Mile to join our conversation and have your voice heard. Also, check out the rest of the Hockey Podcast Network on Twitter at HockeyPodNet and thehockeypodcastnetwork.com. You can listen to the podcast there or anywhere you get your podcasts from. The biggest thing you can do to support us is by going to iTunes or Apple Podcasts and giving us a 5-star rating. Also, if you're looking to donate to the network, visit the Hockey Podcast Network's Patreon page. All donations go straight to the podcast host. Thanks, and see you next episode.
You're listening to the Hockey Podcast Network on Twitter at HockeyPodNet. New episodes every Monday and Thursday. Download at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com or wherever you get your podcasts from.